Okay, thank you. 1 minute. Yeah, it's in here. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Tablelands Regional Council first statutory meeting for the newly elected council in 2024. Thank you very much for being here. Can I just remind everyone to turn off your devices, either turn them off or turn them on to silent, please. Do we have any apologies? I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we meet on today and pay respect to elders past, present and emerging. Now, councillors, item 5, declaration of any material personal interests or conflicts of interest by councillors or senior officers. Given the agenda today, I don't think there will be any conflicts. We've also got minutes of the meeting of the 14th of March. So could I have a mover that those minutes be accepted as a true and accurate record? Councillor Bilney is moving. Councillor Barty is seconding. Those in favour? Carried. Was that everyone? Yeah. Thank you. All right. Matters arising from those minutes. Do we have any matters arising from those minutes? Councillors? No? No? Thank you. So that brings us to item 6.1, appointing of the Deputy Mayor. So what we'll do today, councillors, is we'll go through a process here. The first part of that process will be Councillor Bilney and Councillor Hayden will go up to the lectern and make their presentation to the council. Or if you'd rather do it with your laptop, you can make the presentation from your seat, but you're welcome to use the lectern if you'd like to. So after Councillor Bilney and Councillor Hayden have done their presentations, then we'll take a 20-minute break. You can have a cup of tea or coffee. Just give us a little bit of time to absorb those presentations, and then we'll reconvene. Then we'll go through a secret ballot for the vote, and then once a deputy candidate is elected, then we'll have to have a resolution of council to appoint that person as deputy mayor. So without further ado, I think we'll get started. Who'd like to go first? Oh, thanks, Councillor Hayden.
We don't hate each other yet. after today. Okay. I stand before you this morning to ask for your support for my appointment as Deputy Mayor. I do so because I have the experience, passion and knowledge to carry out the position with professionalism and true dedication to the people of TRC wherever they may live. Being coordinated with the Mayor is one thing, but the Deputy Mayor also needs to ensure the representation supports effective and balanced councillor decisions as a council working group. The Deputy Mayor has a key role connecting the community, council staff and councillors. I have a broad knowledge of the TRC area with close connections right across the TRC region, and I am keen to build on that connectivity in the role as Deputy Mayor. As Deputy Mayor, supporting the Mayor in advancing community cohesion and representing the views of the whole council is one of my key commitments. I have the knowledge of good governance and I have the diligence, commitment and total dedication to continue this. I will work democratically to openly discuss, debate and decide on recommendations provided all while ensuring a sustainable future for our communities. All decisions will be made in a fair and equitable manner that is to the benefit of the entire community and not just the selected few. I will strive to enhance our advocacy with state and federal government and other industries to improve services to our region, including medical, housing, job creation, education services and environmental protection, as well as civic duties. I am supportive of service reviews to ensure council services stay relevant and efficient, and will work with council processes to ensure processes such as CRMs so all community members receive the same fair and consistent services. I have now achieved 19 years in local government, including 4 years in the Hobart Shire as Deputy Mayor and Acting Mayor for 3 months in the time of transition to the amalgamation of the Tableland Shires, a position I conducted with professionalism and fortitude. I have the experience and the knowledge to be capable and to be a capable and balanced Deputy Mayor. The organisation has worked hard over the last few years to deliver asset management plans. I am committed to working with these plans to deliver sustainable asset management across all our assets to improve what we have for our community, remove what we don't need and build for the future community needs. I am also committed to providing clear direction through strategies, policy and budget to our staff and to work together collaboratively to get these things done. I am committed to work together with our newly elected councillors and returning members to represent the entire community and develop strategies that support the growth of our region across all industries. I have been the council representative on FNQ Rock Regional Roads Transport Group for 8 years, which mayors from across the far north Queensland attend. I chair the RADF committee and 4 visitor centre groups. I am also council representative on 3 LDMG community groups for Division 2 and also participate in other council committees. But it's not all about council committees, it's also about community involvement. As a grant writer for 2 organisations, I have obtained over $100,000 for these groups while on council. I'm president of the Ravensstow Tennis Club and have been treasurer for the Inhouse Springs Progress Association for over 20 years. I am now supporting the First Nation locals of Mount Garnish to build a cricket pitch and to build their sporting club. These are not council committees, but it is what I give back to the community. I promise you I will strive to operate with respect, openness and honesty in representation in the interest of all council decisions to ensure that this council can be a cohesive council working together to achieve the best outcomes for the people we represent. Having said all this, 7 of us sit around the table and we each bring with us our own strengths and skills, and we are all here for the right reasons, to represent the constituents of TRC. And one last thing, no one on council has had my background, both as a councillor, experienced in contracting and a business person, as well as who I am as a female who has worked for years in a male-dominant environment. I submit to you that given all these things, I'm the best person for the job as Deputy Mayor. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Hayden. Thanks, Councillor Billney.
Good morning, elected council. I look forward to working with each and every one of you the next 4 years. I'd also like to acknowledge Councillor Hayden's nomination for the deputy role and note that she has a substantial lengthy service in local government. Fellow councillors, today I am seeking your consideration to be appointed as your next deputy mayor. Today I want to convey, for the benefit of all, to those unfamiliar with me about the important qualities that I possess in performing the role as your next deputy mayor. The first point, firstly, I'm an effective communicator and I possess both strong leadership and management skills. Key to my success as a divisional councillor, I believe, has been specifically due to these factors: effective communication, leadership and good management. Not only do I find my role an immensely rewarding one, but I was overwhelmed when I discovered I was re-elected unopposed. Recently, a comment was made from the community that was I glad that I didn't have to campaign during the recent election process. I would strongly argue that I've been campaigning for my role over the past 5 years. I'm incredibly grateful to the community for its continued trust and faith in me in representing their needs on council. Moreover, I was most honoured and humbled to receive such considered praise in public and among peers at the Malanda Hotel recently. Praise for my dedication to the task from community as a whole, and praise for the very timely responses to community issues and inquiries. It was reinforced that I continually meet over and above what some have expected whilst undertaking the councillor role. I simply pride myself in being consistent, dependable and striving for the very best I can. I have a passion for this role, finding it rewarding working with fellow councillors, staff within the organisation and the wider community. As part of leadership, I would like to work with the Mayor and the relevant divisional councillor to visit the community on a monthly basis and have organised meetings providing a more focused, face-to-face approach to leadership within our community. This would occur monthly on a rotational basis and would be not negotiable in my view. The intent being providing elevated access to the council decision makers. It is my intention to bring that same level of enthusiasm, energy and drive to the position of Deputy Mayor if afforded the opportunity. Furthermore, I would also extend my knowledge and guidance to our newly elected councillors in the form of mentoring if required. Number 2 is next. I have demonstrated the ability to develop and implement policies that benefit the community and drive economic growth. I've been instrumental in the development of strategies and policies that were absent but clearly an expectation of the community. In doing so, I've demonstrated sound negotiating skills and shown the ability to be creative and innovative. I believe that I've shown initiative and self-motivation when seeking improvements or challenging existing policies. Examples can be demonstrated through substantive involvement in the amendments to the land use and tenure policy, the creation of a vegetation management policy, the creation of a climate risk management strategy and the current draft of a cycling strategy. These are just some. My vision for the coming term is to restore this organisation as an employer of choice, one that values its staff and empowers them to strive for improvement, rewards them through career opportunities and is renowned for growing its own. A place where community will see currency in council and its workforce, which can be achieved through targeted improvement to organisational culture and its values. I have many little projects and initiatives that I would like to progress through the coming years, all of which can have the ability to unlock the Tableland's true potential, be that through agricultural, tourism or emerging opportunities that present themselves. Expansion of the Atherton Forest Mountain Bike Park is an exciting example of this. Lastly, I am totally dedicated and committed to public service and doing the very best for our regional community. I've had considerable involvement with community and committees both on the Tablelands and the far North Queensland area. Those representations have been 7 advisory committees to council, 6 in the capacity of chair, 7 community-led committees, 1 as chair, 5 far North Queensland-based committees, 1 also as chair. That's 19 involvements in committees. I also attend the local monthly meetings of community organisations such as the Malanda Alliance, Malanda Men's Shed and Chamber of Commerce, to name a few. I have experience with a cross-section of our regional businesses and industries, having previously been in a small business myself and a bank manager of a major organisation. These provide strong credentials for the role of Deputy Mayor. I have represented TRC on the Tablelands and beyond through events and commemorative services. Some of these include, but are not limited to, the emceeing of Rocky Creek VP Day celebrations, commemorations, the Business Excellence Awards and Seniors Week. I've also provided delegate services to TRC at the annual LGAQ conference. I've been fortunate to have the opportunity to network with other local officials, state-based MPs, government agencies and community leaders, and have assisted a delegation to State Parliament advocating for funding for control measures of Navua Sedge. I attended a Canberra delegation of FNQ Rock Mayors, providing support for their advocacy projects on behalf of the Tablelands Regional Council. I have also deputised for the Mayor when having discussions in collaboration with Mareeba Shire Council with National Leader David Littleproud. Those opportunities to represent have provided experience and drives the need and want to fight harder for all Tablelanders. So, in summary, I bring a necessary and fresh perspective to the Deputy Mayor position. I will undertake this role in a full-time capacity, just as I have previously done, reinforcing the importance of this role within Council, the organisation and our community. I bring a wealth of experience from the banking sector in working alongside the Mayor and Councillors to ensure that the budget is balanced and resources are allocated efficiently and prudently financially. I bring awareness that part of the leadership role involves advancing community cohesion and promoting civic awareness when required, as in the absence of the Mayor and spokesman for Council. This includes representing the views of the Council and of its local priorities. I bring an ability to network and encourage partnerships with other stakeholders. I look forward to working with all councillors in an inclusive way where we share responsibilities and work collaboratively on finding solutions for some of what will be most difficult tasks ahead. Thank you very much, councillors, for your time and consideration.
Thanks, Councillor Billing. So, councillors, what we'll do now, we'll take a 20-minute break. Grab a tea or coffee if you'd like. We'll reconvene at approximately 20 to 10, and then we'll proceed with electing the deputy. Thanks very much. We'll reconvene. It's all good tomorrow? Yep, very good, thank you. I'll hand over to the CEO now to proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Amanda will now deliver a ballot paper to each of you. There's the two nominees for Deputy Mayor represented on there. If you just mark one against one or the other, please refold them. And once you've completed that, I'll then collect them, and Hilary and I will conduct a count. At the end of that process, it's essential that that resolution that's there is passed by council. So when you are ready for us to collect the paper, please indicate by just raising your hand if you would. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Council building. There's 4 votes for Councillor Bilney and 3 votes for Councillor Hayden. Thank you, councillors. Now, the process should be, Mr. Mayor, that Councillor Bilney is formally nominated as Deputy Mayor and the vote's taken.
Okay, so yeah, if we can just have that Councillor Bilney, that council appoint Councillor Bilney as the Deputy Mayor. Thanks, Amanda. Councillors, we've got the proposed motion up on the screen there, appointing Councillor Bilney as Deputy Mayor. Those in favour?
Did someone move and second it?
We didn't. Could I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Spanos is moving and Councillor Barty is seconding. Apologies for that. Those in favour? Carried. Congratulations, Councillor Bilney.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Commiserations.
Thank you, council.
Okay, councillors, we'll move on to item 6.2. And could I have a mover of the officer's recommendation? Councillor 6.2 is council meeting dates. Have a mover of the officer's recommendation? Councillor Bilney moving. Seconder, please. Councillor Lang is seconding. Councillor Bilney, would you wish to talk to that?
No, I think it's self-explanatory, Mr. Mayor.
Councillors, final call. Those in favour of the officer's recommendation? Carried. Thank you. Item 6.3, the Planning Standing Committee. Can I have a mover of the officer's recommendation? Councillor Lang is moving. A seconder? Councillor Spanos is seconding. Councillor Lang, do you wish to talk to that one, 6.3?
No, I'm happy with the advice that they've given us there.
Thank you. Councillors, final, we'll go Councillor Bilney, then Councillor Cardew.
Yeah, through the chair, I think it's just important to know that if we do have additional planning issues that need to be dealt with swiftly, we can do it through a special general meeting. So I think it's important to note that.
Thanks, Councillor Bilney. Councillor Cardew.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. I'd like to hear from the planning manager what his thoughts are on this. Councillor, through the chair. Look, we can decide planning reports as proposed through the ordinary meeting. I think as Council Deputy Mayor Bilney suggested, if there was a exceptional circumstance, we could convene a special meeting for that one, but we should be able to deal with the applications on a once-a-month basis for that process. There will be a conversation where we need to have around delegations in terms of planning decisions, and we'll have a conversation in due course.
Thanks, thank you. Councillor Kaji?
Yeah, thanks.
Just also, which is not stated there, at the end of the last term, we abandoned more meetings than we had in the planning committee. Just the workload just wasn't there to warrant keeping that standing committee in place.
Yeah. So look, I think the important thing to keep in mind here, as Councillor Bilney said, as an organisation, we've got the agility to convene a meeting if there is a deadline that we're not going to meet our OCMs. We've got that agility to do that. We were doing it before. Yes, we went through a spike in planning applications. We introduced the planning meetings, but that spike has abated. And the important thing is the organisation has the agility to call those special meetings in the event that we need one.
What's the time frame of calling a special meeting under standing orders?
Generally 2 days, but you can, in exceptional circumstances, forego that.
So 2 days?
Yeah.
So that's not too bad, I suppose.
I think we had used, prior to establishing the standing committee, we had one special meeting, if I recall correctly, to address an urgent planning application that couldn't wait till the next ordinary meeting. So we have used that in the past.
Is there any opportunity to amend the standing orders to afford 2 days if we needed to keep the planning committee meetings in play, but not have meetings until such time they're warranted and have 2 days notice? Is there any merit in doing that?
I would just question why we would add that level of complexity. We can call a special meeting, it's the same time frame as a special meeting, and have a standing committee there that doesn't meet in that sort of monthly cycle. To me would be inconsistent, I suppose. It would be preferable just to use the special meeting. It achieves exactly the same outcome in exactly the same time frames. If you have a standing committee and we state that it should meet monthly, then it's meant to meet monthly unless we have a resolution to abandon it. And so we've got to have that resolution at the preceding ordinary council meeting, and it just gets a bit messy unless you give me a delegation to abandon that meeting, or the mayor a delegation to abandon that meeting. But I don't see why we would do that when we can use special meetings, Councillor Coe.
You're right.
Okay, councillors, we have a mover and a seconder for 6.3. Those in favour? Carried, thank you. That brings us, councillors, to 6.4, appointment of the FNQ Rock representative. Do I have a mover of the officer's recommendation? Councillor Barty is moving and Councillor Hayden is seconding. Councillor Barty, do you wish to talk to that?
No, I'm happy to take the recommendation.
Yeah. Councillor Hayden, did you?
No, I just know that our mayor has been going for years, so I think it's quite okay to keep going.
Yeah, thank you. And look, just for those councillors new to the table, the FNQ Rock is a group of about 13 councils from Hinchinbrook North. It doesn't include many of the Indigenous councils that are on the Cape, but it does include 3 Indigenous councils. But there's about 13 councils in total, and the convention is that the mayors of those 13 councils are members of the Rock, and we attend meetings roughly every 2 months. And yeah, it's a useful advocacy organisation for local government in the region.
Brought it forward today because the first meeting is scheduled for the 18th of April, so before the ordinary council meeting. It's not a matter that we necessarily needed to deal with today, but the timing of the first meeting of the Rock is such that it's appropriate to deal with it today. I know we may not have previously had motions to appoint the mayor, it's just been accepted as a convention, but strictly we should appoint our delegate.
Councillor Cardew?
Can we also add to that recommendation another dot point where the mayor brings back a report to council after each of those meetings, so we know what's going on? It's something we
Yes.
haven't had in the past, and something we sort of, in previous council, we weren't really aware of what was being discussed or what was happening with the F&Q Rock meetings. I just think a simple dot point report after each of those meetings at the next council meeting would be appropriate.
So Councillor Billman?
Yeah, through the chair, those F&Q Rock meetings would be subject to minutes. If we just received those minuted.
I understand that we, well, unless you're on the mailing list of those minutes, which the mayor and the deputy mayor were, I don't think the other councillors were, but I just think it's good just for an open discussion, just a brief open discussion, it's better than looking at minutes, because the minutes are very limited in their content. So I just think that would be appropriate for the mayor just to give a very brief overview of what was discussed and what are the highlights and what are the important issues being discussed or being portrayed through the F&Q Rock.
Yeah, look, Councillor Cardew, if I can respond to that, I think there's plenty of opportunity for that sharing of information. I mean, the minutes can be forwarded to all councillors, and the minutes actually do have quite a bit of detail in what the Rock's discussing. Certainly those matters that relate specifically to Tablelands Regional Council from the Rock, they would be things that would be coming back to council anyway, because we would have to make decisions on them, or we'd have to do advocacy with our state or federal members depending on what the issue was. So look, I feel like there are avenues for that to happen, and it is adequately dealt with at the moment. I certainly think that I'm doing enough there in terms of my role and what I have to do to be prepared for those meetings and contribute at those Rock meetings. So that's my thoughts, Councillor Cardew, that I think there is enough there. And if all councillors aren't getting the minutes, they can have the minutes. I'm not sure whether they are or aren't at the moment, but we can make sure that all councillors are getting the minutes.
Would it be appropriate for me to move an amendment to this, to have that and see what the entire council thinks?
Yeah, you can move an amendment. You'll need Councillor Hayden.
So at the F&Q Rock, anyone can actually turn up and sit in the gallery. Technically, if we've really got a point of interest, I think you can sit there. Anyone's allowed to go, aren't they? Like I've
It's any member of the council.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like if there was something coming up that was such an interest.
I just don't think that we've all travelled to Cairns or wherever. Those Rock board meetings, they held all over the place, and sometimes they're overnighters. I just don't think that would be very...
So Councillor Cardew is proposing to move an amendment. So what is the amendment, Councillor Cardew?
I'd just like an amendment to have the mayor bring back a brief overview after each meeting to the council. At the next general meeting of council, that the mayor provide a brief overview from matters that arose at the F&Q Rock meeting.
So Councillor Barty and Councillor Hayden were the mover and the seconder of that officer's recommendation. So they would need to approve that. Councillor Hayden.
I've got a question. So in that minute that you want to change, would you just want the Tableland Regional Council's information, or do you want everything that's
Everything's
discussed?
discussed because the mayor's representing us at those meetings, so I think and there's not a lot, you know, just a brief overview of what's being discussed and what the direction of the discussion is moving forward, so that we're all aware of what's going on. I don't think it's a big ask.
But look, that's in the minutes, Councillor Cardew. That's in the Rock minutes, what's discussed.
Anyway, I'll move that.
So Councillor Cardew is proposing that amendment. It needs to be support.
I thought I've got more questions because I don't really know like the volume of what is discussed, like what, yeah, how long are the minutes from those meetings, and I'm not sure that I should be voting on something I don't know.
Yeah,
about.
yeah. Look, the ROC is a fairly significant advocacy organisation for the region, and there are these regional organisation of councils right around the state. So we're just the FNQ ROC, but generally it's regional issues that are discussed. So we don't discuss projects that TRC is delivering unless they're a project of regional significance. It's more about what's happening in the region. It's more about trying to get a bigger slice of state and federal money for regional projects, whether it's roads projects, projects that are significant to the region. I probably haven't answered that well, so yeah, but.
I guess
There's a few pages of minutes, but it's also the case, if Councillor Kaji was agreeable, that we can deal with this in our conversation around standing orders and reports to be presented to Council more generally. The important part today is that Council formalises its representation. We can discuss separately, if you're of mind, the reporting requirements from advisory committees and the ROC in one bucket a little bit down the track. I want to say a little bit down the track in the next week or so before the next ordinary council meeting, Councillor Kaji. Councillors feel like they'd like more information. But.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. Look, I don't see what the problem is. It's just a brief summary from the Mayor after our FNQ ROC telling us what's going on, because the FNQ ROC is a significant organisation that we pay to be involved in, and it sets the direction of our entire region. So I don't think it's asking too much, just for a brief overview of what's happening at the meetings. I'll stand by my motion.
Need a seconder for the amendment.
Yeah, so do we have a seconder for the amendment?
yeah, I will. I'd like to.
Okay, so we've got a seconder for the amendment there, and does that now need to be accepted by the mover and seconder?
But you need to, you need to vote on whether or not the amendment is included, and then the amendment will become the motion.
Right. So we'll go ahead and vote on whether the amendment is included. So those in favour of including the amendment? Okay, that's carried. And now we will vote on.
The amendment becomes the motion, and the substantive motion should be voted on now.
Right. So we'll vote on the substantive motion now, the one that's on the screen. So those in favour? Carried. Thank you. So that'll bring us to 6.5. The Local Disaster Management Group appointment of Chair and Deputy Chair. Do we have a mover of the officer's recommendation?
We need to, from your number, determine amongst yourselves who is the deputy chairperson.
Yeah, okay. So councillors, the second dot point there in the recommendation is appointing a deputy chair of the LDMG. So the Local Disaster Management Group is our lead disaster management group for TRC. So yeah, we need one of the councillors to put their hand up to be deputy. Do we have interest from the floor from Councillor Kaji?
I'd like to propose that the deputy mayor do that.
Yep, Councillor Kaji is proposing Councillor Bilney.
Can I just respond to that? Should we not have someone from Atherton based in that role, because I'm just highlighting, you know, if there's an event, I may not be able to get into town. I'm just,
do we have any other councillors that would have an interest in taking on the deputy chair role in this one?
I'll be in the capacity as SES when there's a disaster, so I definitely, it's definitely a no.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I'll do it if there's no other interest, but I just wanted to highlight that
Yeah.
concern, that's all.
Yeah, okay.
Is the position locked in for the whole 4 years, or can it be changed? It is. Thank you.
Unless if you want to revisit it, you can revisit it, but it would not ordinarily be for the term.
Okay.
As noted,
Okay, if there's no other interest from councillors, I think we'll ask Councillor Billney to be the deputy chair. Councillor Billney?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, all right.
there's a lot of interest out there, so.
I would do it for it.
All right. So, so we can just vote for that as one motion for both the mayor and the deputy mayor.
Yes. Yes, Mr.
Yeah. All right, so the officer's recommendation is in two parts. The first one is appointing the mayor as the chairperson of the LDMG, and the second dot point is now appointing Councillor Billney, the deputy mayor, as the deputy chair of the local disaster management group. You got that there, Amanda?
Oh, yes, I'm just writing.
Yeah. Okay, councillors, we've got the motion up there on the screen. Can we have a mover and a seconder? So Councillor Lang is moving and Councillor Spanos is seconding. Final call, councillors, all ready to go? Those in favour? Carried, thank you. And that is our last item of business. So there being no further business, meeting closed. Thank you.
A second. One more part, I can dispense with the suit and tie going forward. Pleased about that. So we do have, yeah, one short.